Hey guys, I'm Ronnie.
And I'm Nas.
And we are New Girls on the Block. We are back with another episode. Today we're going to be talking about getting unstuck.
Yeah.
Rather it be from a job, from a person, or just in your life in general. But like always, let's start with a recap of our week. What have you been up to?
So this week I've been taking a full on social media detox. Like,
okay,
I usually would take like little breaks from Instagram and like, I'm gonna take like a couple of days or like a weekend. I'm gonna delete it and then like not be so caught up because them reels be getting me caught up. So
I feel it.
Yeah, I usually do that, but then I caught myself going to a different app, going to like YouTube, going to TikTok, going to Pinterest, and then like still doing the same pattern. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna challenge myself and give myself a week of absolutely no social media.
How do you feel?
I feel good. I do feel like it gave me more of like a way of focusing more on my creative side and trying to balance creativity and working out. I'm still trying to like get onto that. So I feel like it's been making me not be on my phone as much too. Like I kind of been in my thoughts more though, and not in a bad way. I just been like, I catch myself like daydreaming and thinking so much, and it's like, wait, that's where I kind of pass my time, and I'm like, I need to find more things to actively do and not really just I'm in my head,
not let your mind wander.
Yeah, and for too long, because of course creativity comes from the mind in the first place. But I do feel like I caught myself like being more too like, okay, I'm just sitting here and I'm just thinking about so much stuff, and not even like bad stuff, just like my days and things that I don't know. I just like thinking, and then like it just goes off to like so many tangents. But I do feel like it sparked something, and since it's only been a week, I haven't seen any major like, oh, I'm just the best person I am ever been in my life. But I do see like small things. Like I went to the furniture thrift shop. I bought a new piece. I was painting it, and I'm usually like, I've been in a kind of, I guess, a stuck and I haven't been able to really like get the creative juices like I used to, like flowing, because I used to like find pieces, do like art pieces and plants and stuff like that, and like I haven't been taking as good care of my plants as I should. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy this piece and then paint it and then set up for like more of my plants so I could really focus on them, because they just been kind of like stored, and then it's like, oh, the leaves are falling, like stuff like that. So I feel like I did that. I did more classes. I spent time more with family, I guess. So I guess it has been doing like, because yesterday I spent like my whole day with my sister. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna come over, we could hang out. Then we went out to eat, and then did a little bit of shopping. So I feel like it's been giving me more
time to do things that actually enrich your life.
Yeah, and like living in the real world in a way, because I noticed when I was there, like eating with my sister, we ate in a little restaurant, and then I'm just like just looking around, and like I usually like try to distract myself on my phone and like go to social media so I won't feel awkward. But I'm like,
you're more aware of everything happening.
I'm like, what's the point of just trying to hide when I could just like experience, like, okay, I never noticed that on the wall before when I came here last time. So it's just like, yeah, being more aware of my surroundings, and I feel like it's been good to just I'm trying to get back on the creative side of my life in a way. So that's the benefit of that. But I've also, what else did I do?
It sounds like you're creating more than you're consuming.
Yeah, for real. That's what I'm trying to do. But other than that, what else did I do?
Didn't you say you started some new plants? Or you got some new plants?
I found some plants.
Local plant mom.
So yesterday when I went to go to my sister's house, seeing that somebody threw out so many like beautiful monstera plants, and if y'all know, like monsteras grow so nice, but they were like all mango, like the roots were falling out the plant, and I'm like, oh, I could save this.
I'm here.
I could save you. But I seen it, and I'm like, okay, let me like shoot. It's on the street. It's just probably gonna die here. Let me see if I could do something with it. So I picked it up and put it in my car, and then today is. After like the rest of my day, I'm gonna go home and try to like revive, and see what I could do.
Real plant mom.
I'm trying.
Foster mom.
Yeah, adoption. But yeah, I'm gonna see what I could do with that. Other than that, my week has been pretty good, pretty chill. I'm a psycho. Y'all know. So I've been I think that's another reason why I haven't been at my potential self of taking this break, because I've just been like, that really takes a toll on me. So I just like, okay, let me just chill. I still tried to work out in between, but I did that like and I'm just like, I
mean, but at least you're still making active steps like towards doing what you got to do, because you could literally be out and be like, dang, my body don't feel good, I'm just gonna chill for the week or something, but you seem to be still active.
I tried. So I did. That's the thing. I need to give myself grace when it's times like that, but sometimes I'm like, I could be doing more. I could have did so much more, but it seems more of like this was more of like a chill week. I'm still just trying to see where this takes me. Maybe I'll do another week of that too, but we'll see. But that's been my week. How about you?
Sounds like a good week.
Yeah, it was good.
My week has been good. It kind of started off rocky. One day y'all will find out.
Oh, yeah.
Can't talk about it on camera. We can. But it was raining. I feel like when it's raining, I'm not as productive. But I feel, was it the day we met or the day before? I don't know. This time, I don't know if it's because I was dressed for the rain or what. I felt it was giving like New York vibes. Let's stay busy in the city and like, so that's how my week started. I feel like throughout the week, I was pretty chill. I didn't do much during the week. I just hung out with my sister. What else did I do? I got things done, like I was telling you, but I wasn't following through. Like, and I'm trying to like, I'm going to follow through on everything I need to do today, but I want to also know like what I do sometimes. I'll do every step, and then at the last step, I just get like, and that's something I noticed about myself. I have a bad habit of reading a whole book and not finishing the last chapter. Yeah.
Girl, I don't know what it is.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if it's just like the fear of just like
the end.
I don't know. But I'm trying to like look inward and kind of figure out why I do that, because I notice it's a pattern throughout my life with different things. Like even shows, media. Like, I don't know, but it's something there. Yeah. Besides that, y'all know, new hair, new me. Period. Got my hair done while I did my own hair. Yes.
Because we're trying to save some coin.
Giving everything it needs to give.
And it is.
Thank you. So, I just been trying to take care of myself. I have been doing good with that. I feel like ever since I signed up to get facials every month, I'm more conscious about like taking care of myself. I feel like I've been doing my nighttime routine.
Oh, that's good.
Yesterday, my sister was here. She was like, "You're washing your face?" And I was like, "Yeah, you thought I was gonna fall asleep on the couch?" I'm like, "Nope." Like,
that's good.
Yeah, I'm just trying to really take care of myself. Like, really, just I don't know, just be the best Ronnie I could be. It wasn't the most exciting week, but it was a week that, a little filler week.
Yeah, and like a
productive week.
I would say productive because, you keeping the routines going.
And at work, I had some successes. I was happy at work. I have a client who is not in the best situation. I don't know if y'all know, I work with people who don't have homes, or homeless neighbors, or are neighbors without homes. Yeah. And I got somebody approved for housing for next month.
That's a win.
I got them approved to stay in a motel until we get them housed. And when I reached out to the motel, they were like, "Oh my God, like we have not had any business." Like they were just so thankful.
Wow.
Like, so it's like I felt like I was doing something for the community. And I was doing something for the person, because they were living in an encampment, and that's nowhere for elderly. Anybody to live. Especially like it's an elderly person. So I just feel like really fulfilled in my work. Yeah. And being able to block out all the white noise at work and just focus on my clients. It's so
and what really matters, because that right there itself is like, for them to say like, "Oh, we haven't had business," and then the person is able to be off of the an encampment. That's like such a milestone.
I feel like, honestly, when I look past like issues I have with like maybe management or anything like that, I feel so blessed to be able to be working in that kind of job, because I really like. My clients be like, "You're an angel," or "You're an angel," and sometimes I'll be like, because I don't take compliments as well. But like, it's so fulfilling to really be able to make a change in people's life, and like be that person when they remember. They be like, "Oh, Ronnie was there helping me, being patient, because that's what that job teaches me, patience and understanding. So yeah, all in all, I did have a good week. See, when I look back at it.
Yep, that's a win to me. And a win, I'm sure that's a win.
Yeah,
to
for
them too.
The business, the person, and it's just like, I don't know, it's not many people can say they really impact people's lives on a daily or on a weekly.
Yeah, in a good way, because some people impact people's lives negatively.
Too many people be impacting people's lives and just don't care. But I just feel like, you know, that's why I'm always highly favored, because I continue to try to put out the good
vibes, you know? So yeah, I love that. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that's like, it warms my heart to hear something like that, because that's a win for me. So I guess that could lead us to our topic of getting unstuck. I guess we could start first with work situations, because we've both been in situations at work that
we just felt trapped or like we couldn't leave. And like looking back at it, I'm like,
why?
I don't know if it was like the psychology of us being like wanting to be stable. So we're like, okay, we're getting income, but we always know that we bring value to everything. So I don't think it's that. I don't know. Like, what do you think?
So for me, with that situation, because we both worked in the same job, if you guys don't know, I think we mentioned it probably before, but
y'all remember summer last year, we was out here struggling, mental health in the gutter,
literally
over a job.
So me in that situation, so when it first started, I think it was good. I think the overall what we were doing was kind of sketch, but and we don't have to go into too much details about it.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the community of the teams and stuff was good, and
I like almost all my coworkers, and I still hang out with a lot of them.
Yeah, so I feel like the people were good, the coworkers were good, and the energy that people brought, and the helpfulness that people brought within it was good. But then
somewhere it just went left.
The management started acting crazy. The money started getting less and less, and
the money was funny, y'all.
Yeah, the money started being real funny, and then they start treating the uppers bad, like the senior. It was called seniors. They start treating them like trash, taking the money. Like, they used to make so much more money, and then it's like they're telling us this, and it's like, wait, what? And then we kind of have to like still be a team, and it just started getting so crazy. And I was literally working.
It was messy.
Yes, I was literally working 6 days out of the week with that job, and trying to find balance of work life and free time. But I felt like that job was consuming so much, and the what we were doing was so consuming into my mind that I just felt drained after every shift. And I'm like, I was overly eating, and like, just because it was half work from home, half in the office. But literally I would just crazy hours in the night, like till midnight. Then you gotta wake up the next morning and start like at 8. Like, it was crazy. So I feel like that whole situation was so draining for me, and I'm just like, well, if I push and if I keep doing it, I know I'm gonna get the bonus for the month. I know I'm gonna get the check, and that's gonna be worth it. And then when I get the check, I'll just spend it on, like, I don't know, it was like I was buying myself, I guess, kind of gifts, or rewarding myself with the money that I'm doing, that I'm not really like focused on saving. I'm just like, I gotta give myself something nice. Because
I feel so drained that I need to reward myself, but then it's just like I get back into the cycle of doing this horrible like thing to get the money. So it's like I was stuck in this whole routine of, okay, just work, get paid. I could go spend my money, and then come back to work and work and get paid. So I do feel like the money for me, that was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing it, because I mean, and the comfort of being in my home, I guess. For me, I like a work from home job, and I did like that I was able to work from home and like not really have to interact too much, or like be somewhere and like feel only certain days, like we had to go 2 days out of the week for like 4 hours. So that was cool. I think that dynamic was cool. But the working 6 days out of the week, the split schedule of working from the like morning, early mornings,
then
get a break during the day,
it's like that was harsh. And just like, okay, I'm doing what I was doing, which wasn't like
already taxing on your mental health.
So I think for me it was like the money, and then like, okay, at first it was a team, because I felt like my team was really solid, and I knew we was hitting them goals. So I was like, I like the people on my team, and we connected. Like, we went to the senior's house and just had a good time. So when it was like that, I think that's what was keeping me there longer, is the team and the people. But then I'm just like, this is not what I ever envisioned my life to be like. So I think that's where it was the good in it. But then after that situation with just him, I was like, I'm only doing these last 2 because I know I was getting that check. But after this, I'm done. So I think that's when it was like, because I feel like that's where it all starts. When it's a good team and it was good people around you, you kind of like, okay, I know it's not the place that I want to be, but I'm going to enjoy it because these people are enjoyable.
It makes it easier to show up.
Yeah, but management, and then when it turned left, I was like, yeah, I'm not going to put myself through this no more. So after that, it was like, I got to get up out of here. So I think once I was like, I'm making my money, and once this is, I'm done. And it was my birthday month. I was like, period. I don't even want to ever think about this. Like, my birthday's coming up. I'm about to enjoy my life, and I'm done. Because I always, in the back of my mind, I know I'm always going to be solid. Yeah. And I know that money comes and money goes, but this was just like, I guess for the time being. But girl, once I did it, I was like,
isn't it crazy how like a job can almost take over your whole life?
It literally,
and I feel like even with the management at that particular company, because we've had jobs where we worked together like in group settings where the management was kind of like rocky. but it wasn't at that level. And I feel like when you have like not even a lack of support, but it seems like the management is coming at you ready to pull the rug from under your feet. It creates an environment of like, how can I grow in this situation?
Exactly. So because I know you're in a different position than what I was in, so I feel like for me it wasn't as much eyes on me as it was on you in that situation. Constantly. Yeah, because you were like more in the management area. And so how was that affected, or how did you get?
I feel like with that job, it kind of like, as far as like being like stuck in the mindset, I feel like that job did a really good job of like reeling people in, especially with the management. And I seen like opportunities to go like in different like lanes when I first started working there. And I feel like I am really good when it comes to like marketing, or just like understanding marketing and like things like that. And I feel like when I originally got into the job, I thought it would be more working around that, and I will be able to learn different techniques and learn things that would apply across the board at different media or marketing agencies. But I feel like once I actually started working there, it was a whole different story. And I feel like they did a good job of like selling you like the family thing, and be like having you become friends with different people in the management group, so you feel like you're really connected. And it's like you build a connection that's stronger, or like it resonates with you more than just being at a job. It's like you're showing up for your friends and stuff like that. And I feel like that created an environment where I felt like my loyalty was tested kind of. And I feel like I feel like with that job, as long as I was like the nice black girl and I feel like almost tokenized. And I feel like as long as like everybody else around me was happy, like everything went good. But as soon as I like kind of took a step away, like I would still do my job, but I didn't want to be like as close to people personally, just because I seen how people were willing to just allow things to happen to other people, and I couldn't put my ethical like feelings behind. That's when it became a problem. And I feel like when I backed away as a friend to certain people, that's when it was like and I feel like that job, they will load you up with different things to do that wasn't in your job perspective. And they'll be like, oh, thank you so much, like you always like they call you for lifers. And it's like, but then when you fall short, it's not a conversation. And I feel like with me, when they tried to come for my neck, I feel like it was crazy, because I had seen them really work with people who were doing crazier things than me, who were actively like not making money or not being a team player. I feel like I seen them try to really figure out how to help them. So when it came to me, it was just like, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. And I had to plead my case to stay.
Yeah.
It was like the opposite way around. I didn't have any grace. So I feel like after that, I was like,
gotta go.
I don't care. Like, tried to get my exit plan out. And I feel like with jobs, like, I would never trust a job, and I suggest y'all don't either. When it be like we're founded on family values.
Exactly. That's
Never.
a red flag. I didn't realize with that for sure.
Because we're not a family.
No.
This is an employer.
Exactly.
I am an employee.
Somebody who's controlling my checks.
Yeah, and then I feel like with that job, it became so intermeshed. Everybody hanging out together outside of work, and it kind of was like a caste system where if you were at the top, you were made to feel like so much better. Yeah. But I remember somebody told me, oh, you're unqualified for the positions, but we really liked you, so we worked with you. And I was just like, but I'm the only person with a communications degree in this room.
Yeah, that's what I remember. What's his name? I'm gonna keep him as what's his name. Said that to me. He was like, oh yeah, she was really, the other girl had more qualifications, but I loved her answer to the question, like telling me that this girl. And I was like, oh, okay, like yeah. I didn't know what they were looking for, like they said, but I was like, yeah, I'm glad, like she is a, like we start talking about it, but girl, they're crazy.
Yeah. I was just like, and then the way that even with the interview, how they were so vague about what it was, I couldn't really even tell you guys how I can offer myself in the position. So I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like they were very toxic, very fake, and very just like odd. And I feel like they will people in by trying to be like close friends with them. But as soon as you got on their bad side, it was just like they would talk to you crazy
and
like,
talk behind your back crazy. Yeah, and talk behind them stories you was telling me what they be talking about.
Yeah, and it was like a high school cafeteria, and that wasn't the vibe I ever wanted to be on. And even the people at the very top end up falling.
Yes. So in the end, it was, well, I don't know what they're going through now. I don't even care. But literally the people who were like the main voice of the company, they let them, like, they just fired them up in that. Like, that's so crazy. Like, that job just showed me really like how these jobs are crazy, and especially if
how they'll use you
exactly use you for what they want, and pretending a face that, oh yeah, this is fun, this is friends, we're hanging out and we're getting coffee, and come and give everybody hugs, that type of, I'm just like, this weird. I usually will be more, I guess, standoffish in jobs. I don't really like, because it's literally like, this is where I come to work. I'm not here to like, oh, we're all hanging out and
I feel like they pushed that heavy.
They definitely did. And I feel like that's where at the end, when I was got switched teams, they looked at me as an outsider because first of all, they looked at me as an outsider in the first place because I'm new to the team and they already had this stuff established. So I felt like they were already like, standoffish to me. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not about to, hey guys, and try to, like, no, if I'm feeling a vibe, I'm not about to be fake and try to join the team if y'all not showing me the type of energy, especially as a support of a team, when y'all are, coming over to my house doing all that. Like, no, that's nothing. Because they try to like, oh yeah, let's go hang out, like we're gonna work at my house or work at this cafe and doing the work that we did. So for me, I would be like, okay, it's a job, let me go to this cafe and work with them. But then it's like, y'all are having us do this work in a public setting where people are like, wait, what are they doing? And then making it all eyes. Like, I was like, this is not what I want as a company.
It was inappropriate.
Very inappropriate. So I was like, I'm gonna work from home. Like, I told them, I'm like, I'm gonna work from home for the rest of my shift. And then then I'll log back on later, blah blah blah. Because I feel like that's where they were like, like start throwing like little
subs.
Yeah, and like, oh, she's not a team player. Like, who wants to be in a family restaurant? No, like working on a laptop or working inappropriate level.
Looking at new photos.
Yeah, to keep it a buck. Like, I feel like they were delusional, they were crazy, and they're probably cool with that, but I wasn't cool with that. So it's like, okay, and I was always respectful. I was always, you know, but I'm like, I'm not about to go in these places or come to your house when I don't feel welcome. I could do my work from wherever, you know, like I don't have to, like that shouldn't be in a job description. And then I feel like that's where they start taking it out in that whole situation in the end. Because I was planning to leave anyway, but then it was like, oh, we're letting you go. And I'm like, I've been said I was leaving.
Yeah.
I read your emails. Why didn't you read your email? Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, overall, I feel like they were built on that friendship, weird type of energy. And if they didn't like you, you're out. Yeah. So I feel like that's what happened. Like, they didn't like me, and they didn't think that I was a team player when I was doing everything I was supposed to do.
And it's like, why do you have to be... If you're doing your job and the things that you're supposed to do, I don't understand the requirement of you having to mingle with people that really... Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like, that doesn't matter. And I feel like as far as, like, getting stuck at a job, I feel like management, like, have ways to, like, try to break their employees down.
Yes.
And I feel like even when they had, like, a super meeting where the company did not pay people when they were supposed to, and they, like, literally turned it around on everybody, like, oh, we could be hiring people in Indonesia. Like, what?
Yeah, like, we don't have to do this, but we're doing it to support you.
Yeah, right? It's supposed to be a meeting to hear people and how they feel about it. And it was just like, at the end of the day, the management seeing people as dollar signs and as money. And I feel like when you're in an environment like that, you would never be able to really grow within that environment, because the moment that their money becomes funny, they're going to take it out on you. And I feel like with those kind of things, it's like when you're in an environment where people are acting like it's like a family environment, you get more connected. Just like if your family would be doing something crazy to you, and you're like, well, this is my sister. This is I built this bond, but the bond is like in your mind. I remember reading something, and they were talking about how work and governments do a really good job of like convincing people to have loyalty to a system that does not benefit them.
Yes.
And I've seen that so much with that job in particular. And it would just like prop people up, and like you'll get a new position, and then all eyes will be on you, and they would be ready to tear you apart. And any you would be mistake. Like, it was people at that job that literally had the company in their Instagram bio. Like, it was like, it was almost some propaganda. And I remember one of the supervisors used to joke that he could be a cult leader. And that's the environment it was. It was just like really like mess with your brain. Like, they were very psychologically aware of like even the age demographic that was working there. The just the fact that a lot of the people were creatives and they needed a secure income, so they used that to their advantage. And the management just really trying to intermingle within your life to make you become a friend. It was all psychological, like warfare.
To basically enslave you in a way.
So I feel like with a job, like that's the key, knowing that it's a job.
Exactly.
And that unless you have some kind of stake in this company, at any moment they could let you go. And I feel like especially with that job, it showed us, like we were talking about earlier, how it played such an effect on our mental health. I was gaining weight, having issues in my relationship, like waking up super late because I did not really want to be there. And it was just like having to show up somewhere that did not serve you and that was actually taken away from you. But for some reason, whether it be to have a stable income or because you create this like odd parasocial bond with management that you don't really have, it makes you feel like, oh, I need to stay here, or what did I do wrong? Maybe I need to just work harder so I can like reach the levels I'm supposed to reach. Because you see these people who are driving these amazing cars and live in these nice places, but they don't really tell you like they had to stay up 12-hour days and literally taking things that would affect anybody's mental health. And I don't know, I just feel like with a job, you just got to know that, like I said, unless you have some kind of stake in it, like
you got to know it's a job.
You don't have to have no loyalty, especially in California. Like they literally have you sign at will. Like at any time
they could fire you basically.
For anything. So I just feel like being stuck at a job, especially as a person who wants to open their own stuff. Like, my partner at the time would always remind me, like, why are you coming home upset every day when you have a vision of what you want to do with your life?
Exactly.
Like, and sometimes jobs could overtake our own visions of what we want for ourselves. Yeah. And we'll be giving blood, sweat, and tears to a company that don't care about us.
Yes.
That has no benefit. And now that we've both left the company, it's like ancient history, and it's crazy.
I have like I don't think about it, and then sometimes like something would trigger like me remembering that I was like, wait, I actually worked there. Like that was crazy. And I just like, oh, then it leaves my mind again. I don't think about them. I don't think about that job like that. It's like literally ancient history. It's just something that happened, and I'm over it. And now my life has been so much more fulfilling. I feel like I've never felt this, I guess, like free. I've been in a point of time where I'm like, I can really, I guess, relax. I've always been the type that if I'm in a place, I'm usually like the person who would give it 100%. I'm gonna do the work that I need to do, and I'm going to, you know, do everything that I can to, you know, be a good team member. So I feel like that's kind of why I've been in this point of like, I get to just be me. I don't have to give myself so much to anybody else at the moment. I could make my own schedule, and I could figure out what I really want to do. I feel like this has been like more of like a time just to really like focus on me. And I haven't, usually it's always back to back, like, okay, I'll take some time, but then I'm like, okay, I gotta, you know, but I think this time in my life has been, okay, now I can focus on what I want to do in life, and not just focus on somebody else's business where I'm doing the most to make them the most, and they're not don't even care about me. So I think a way to get to overall sum up for jobs is just to know, like the separation of work and friends, and know that always look for, if you're not happy in the situation, always look for new opportunities and look for where you really want to be in life, because if that job is not serving you the way you thought or you wanted to, don't make that your end goal. Don't get stuck and continue on just taking on that energy, because what is it benefiting you? It's giving you a check or giving you money, but in the security. But literally, once you let go, I feel like no matter what, if you're in a situation, because that goes for like other people in my family too. Like my sister was in situations of jobs where it's like, I gotta, and it was like literally she had panic attacks and like all types of stuff. And it's like, once you let go of something like that, don't be afraid of not having the security or not, oh, I don't have any backup, or this is what I need to survive. I swear, like God, if y'all, you know, whatever you guys believe in is gonna show up for you and get you out of these situations if you just let go.
One of my coworkers at my current job, he said something that I always think about. He said, the world does a great job of convincing us that we're drowning in a pool that's 30 feet deep. But sometimes if we just stand up, we'll realize we're bigger than like how deep the waters seem. And the waters may be just 5 feet tall. And when we just stand up and realize like I can do it, then the water's no longer in our face, and we can see everything clear. And everything becomes like, oh, I don't have to do this. I am in control. Like if you really think about your life, every day you wake up and make a conscious decision of who you want to be, how you want to show up, and what you want to accomplish in that day. Nobody has the power over you. I feel like if you like just keep that close to your heart and realize like what your purpose is and the things that you want to do, you'll be less likely to be stuck with things, people, jobs that don't serve you, because you're just like, oh, my time is so valuable. This doesn't even matter, because Nasira could get a job at anywhere, like, and make the same amount of money. The job I went to next, I made the same amount of money. And I have little to no mental stress compared to that last job. And I actually feel fulfilled. And I'm in an environment where people are not telling me I'm not qualified, even though I have more credentials than them. A lot of them, this was their first job. So I feel like with jobs, like we just have to realize, like, if it don't serve us and let it go. And I think it's like society telling us, like when you do interviews, they'd be like, oh, why did you only stay here for a year? Why did you only stay here?
You think you need the longevity of a job.
And why would you stay at a job for 10 years that you're miserable in instead of spending 10 years trying to figure out what you actually want to do, finding what you want to do, and then being happy.
Exactly. People put themselves in this, because I think society and how we've evolved to, oh, you have, like, you know, work days or 8 hours, and you could do overtime, and you know, you come home, at least you could get the home you want, get the dream, like they sell their dream. And I feel like a lot of people get caught up of, okay, if I keep working, maybe they'll promote me, maybe at least it's security, I could pay my bills and I could feed my kids, or I could do this, you know, like things like that. But literally people are doing this, and then all the stress is causing them health issues. It could cause like mental issues, and you're not even showing up for either the kids you have or the home you have. Like maybe you're
yourself,
like you're leaving stuff dirty in the home, and it's like you come home and you feel uncomfortable, you just go to sleep and wake up and go, like it's like you literally have to realize or look at your surroundings. If you're in a situation where you're not happy, you have to realize, like, okay, I could be better as a person. This job is really putting me through a lot, and I could make things better by letting it go. Because literally stuff, and even like our next topic about people, like people could even get you in a place like that, a mental state where you're feeling stuck and you can't get out, and oh, if I have to hold on because this is what making me feel comfortable, but it's making you uncomfortable at the same time.
Or I've been around this person for amount of years, or that's my sister, that's my cousin, that's my mama, and they've been with me my whole life, but like it's like you're gonna keep breathing.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like people need to realize that people, jobs, and like even like people and jobs and environments can get you stuck and get you in a point where you might be feeling like, okay, you know, and even how you're saying, like, you could know that certain people in your life that is holding you back, and it's like you start feeling irritated, how you said, and uncomfortable. But when you let it go, of course some things you don't want to let people go, but it could make a totally difference in your life if you just do that, you know? So really open your eyes and kind of realize. But how do you feel about that situation?
With people?
Yeah.
I feel like for a long time I was a people pleaser. We should do an episode about that.
Yeah, because I think I'm slightly one, but I kind of know where to
draw those boundaries.
But I don't do it in a, like, I don't know. I don't like confrontation. I think I'm more of like a person who hates confrontation. So I would do certain things to, like, okay, I'm gonna keep it unconfrontational. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where but we should.
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to like keeping people in your life that don't serve you, I feel like throughout my life I really tried to hold on to people, whether it be people I date, friends, people in my family. But I'm so happy that I'm at a point where I don't care. Yeah. Like I am still a selfless person. Like I go out my way to help people, but I can't be selfless to a point where I'm trading my own peace of mind for somebody else's happiness. And just like we were talking about earlier, I seen a video where the guy was talking about when you hold on to things that are no longer meant to be in your life, you start to just feel like a uncomfort, a disconnect, almost like the interactions are unnatural. And I do have people in my life like that, family, just friends. And for a long time, I would be the person that would reach out and like always forgive or always trying to like put my best foot forward. But I had to, like, at the tender age I am now, realize for what?
Yeah. Like, what's it really benefiting?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, I'm figuring out this life thing by myself. Yeah. Like, I have friends that enrich and bring different things in my life, but I'm in full control of my life. Yes. And I don't have to be this character of a nice person because I already know I'm a nice person. Yeah. So I don't have to go out my way to be like, yes, thank you. Excuse me. Yeah, to convince people or to play a role because I don't want to disrupt or I don't want to be confrontational or I don't want somebody else to have their feelings hurt because I don't want to talk to them ever in my life. Yeah. Like, but at this point, it's like, it is what it is. Yeah. And like, I just feel like when you realize the value you bring to every relationship you're in, whether it be platonic or romantic, you'll be better able to kind of realize when people are playing in your face.
Yes.
When they no longer serve you, and like value your time. Cause like I could spend 2 hours talking to somebody and it's irritating me. It's making me mad, or it's just like I hang up the phone feeling drained.
Yeah.
Or I could spend that same 2 hours talking to Nas or talking to somebody that I enjoy.
Yeah.
Naturally, I'm learning from. And I realized that a lot of relationships, like you feel like you have to serve or give something to somebody for them to like find equal value in the relationship. Like I'm a helper. I love to help people, but it's just like, no, I don't. And I feel like I had to look at the relationships I really enjoy. Like I keep using you as an example. When we hang out, I don't have to do anything for you.
Yeah.
Like I could just be me.
Yeah.
And I feel like you could just be you. I'm not constantly asking like, can you do this for me? Or dumping my emotional baggage off on you, or like just taking from you.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when we hang out together, I'm fed. Like I feel like the friendship is stronger. I feel like we have mutual understanding of each other. Even when we disagree, we could have a conversation that doesn't end in an argument.
Yeah.
Like, and
totally
being
agree.
able to be more we talked about the last episode, being self-aware.
Yeah.
I feel like I've realized the things that I've done to keep and hold on to people and try to have that control in my life, maybe when I felt in control, but more importantly, the amazing relationships I have. And I feel like it's almost a disrespect to myself and the people that I really, really enjoy. Cause like, why would I give the same energy to a person I really don't enjoy as to you when you guys are not on the same level in life, in my life, in your life? Like, you know, and relationships shouldn't be hard.
Exactly. It should be easy flowing. And that's what I feel like for me as well, how I mentioned, like, I usually, I guess I could say I'm a people pleaser, but not to a point where it's like, makes me feel uncomfortable. I usually will like slowly back away and then kind of like take a step back and like, I'm gonna just, not, we don't have to talk all the time and it could just easily float away, But I do feel like I always try to keep the peace and try to keep like, so if it's something that I usually would though, like if it like close people, like my family and stuff, if it's something we're like not agreeing with, I'm gonna say like, that sounds crazy to me, like I don't think that, but I feel like if I'm not that close, I don't want to step that boundary of like, that sounds crazy, because I'm like, I don't want it, because like what if they take it the wrong way, what if they don't.
But shouldn't you be able to do that and not have fear that somebody's gonna like,
be like, what? You don't.
Yeah.
I totally agree, and I feel like that's where I kind of, I guess you could say I analyze people before I kind of like take analysis. I feel like I'm a very logical person, and I take analysis of people's actions and things that people do like throughout days, and kind of like just like, okay, this seems a little off. This seems like maybe that's not like the best character trait or like the worst, blah blah. But I just kind of have this like thing. So it's like if somebody's showing too much of a negative character trait, it's like I don't think I could, I can see you when I see you, and I could keep it as like, this is the friend that I hang out with for these type of reasons. But overall, I kind of keep it at, okay, if I'm building a bond with somebody, I kind of analyze it, and then before I make those bonds, because I'm very sheltered of myself, and I don't like I said, I don't like confrontation. I don't like, and it's a healthy amount of conversation, like logical talk and a logical like debate or whatever could be. I think those are beneficial, but like if it's just like constant like negative, and it's just like, okay, what is this bringing? I'm gonna take the step back and like, I don't think this is for me personally. I like to keep my peace, and I like to live my life a certain way of like chill. Like I don't want to ever be like always riled up and about random things that don't even matter. I feel like that's the whole thing. Like most of the times, all this stuff that people are like spewing out and upset about, or
it don't matter.
Yeah, it's like we could just literally live life normally. Why I gotta make extras, you know?
Make things hard. I feel like you're really good at not projecting what you want people to be. I feel like you do a really good job of allowing people to show you who they are and just going off of what people show you. You don't project and be like, oh, well, I feel like deep down she's really a good person. You're not trying to pull anything out of somebody. You do a really good job of being like, noted. And then you don't make it, because I'm just thinking of one person in general. You don't make it a rude thing, but I feel like anytime you point something out, I'd be like, I see that.
Yeah.
Like, I see
now
that.
You gotta tell me off camera.
Yeah, but I don't feel like you go out your way. Some people would be like, I see that, and then like make it their mission to be an asshole to that person, or to be like a savior and try to fix them.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm a fixer, and I am
like, too, but to a point where it's like I'm not about to fix everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I keep my limits.
You don't got no cape on.
Yeah, I'm not saving all y'all. I can help, but I ain't saving.
Yeah. So I feel like just people knowing that you don't have to be friends with everybody, knowing that you can be just associates and not projecting what you want onto people. It allows you not to be so like stuck, because oftentimes, like, even when you're in a breakup, I realize like the things that you miss, like if you think about it, when you meet a person, it's just a person. It's just another stranger on the street. But as you get connections with people and you like fall in love, or you grow a deeper friendship, you're projecting so much like, oh, this person is amazing because they made me feel like this, or this is what I see in our future. Like, rather it be like a romantic partner, you're like, oh, I think that he's going to be a great partner for A, B, and C. But a lot of that stuff is you projecting what you want onto them. Or like a friendship, like, I think that we gonna be able to do this, like vacation buddies, whatever. But this person may not even want to ever leave the country.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, like, and I feel like a lot of it is us like projecting onto people and growing attachments and like,
over the projection or the idea of what you think.
It's like people fall in love with potential all the time.
Yeah,
like, and it's just like, you have to be able to allow people to be them and believe people when they're them. And then understand that if something's not serving you, I feel like we always say, if it don't serve you, let it go. But if it don't feel right, like our intuitions, like people say when you break up or when you catch somebody cheating or do all, you always knew that that person was not probably the person for you. But you kind of ignore like the red flags and you just, because you want it to be something that it's not. And you get stuck in a situation. People be married for 20 years talking about, well, I thought he was this person, or I thought she would be this person. I married them, and even though they were kind of mean to my friends, I thought they would be a good parent because they like me, you know? And that kind of gets you stuck, and it could get to a place where 20 years go by and you still stuck. So unhappy. And that goes for people in your family. And I just feel like as long as you continue to value yourself and operate, like, that's my new thing, operate on self-awareness, you'll be able to let a lot of things go. Because like agree. Do anybody at that job contribute to you wanting to live on an island and be self-sufficient and grow your own plants? Like, so why would they ever matter?
Like, they don't. I feel like nobody was giving me the benefit of what I needed what I need in life. It was, and like I said, like we said, it's work, and it's like I feel like you could build those connections at work, but if it's not, you don't have to try to force those connections or force, like, literally, if it's like fire and water and you're trying to force it together and just to like, oh, we're gonna be friends because we work together, or we're gonna be close because we're in this group, we have to be close because we were also randomly put in this group, but we have to work well all the time together and have to be besties. And like, I don't think that's natural. I think we naturally gravitate towards people who, you know, we get to know, and then we see, and it's like, okay, we can build these connections that way, not being forced into this group of random people, and I have to know everything and like everything about everybody. Like, that's crazy. That's not natural. And I don't think anybody, like, in a friend, to live like that. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. So I think we kind of have to keep these like boundaries of a workspace, like, and see if it does end up growing. Like, we work together. I feel like we were like away.
Then we were 3 different jobs together.
Yeah, we
that's
did. Crazy. So I feel like that's where we met, but we were able to find that common ground and build a connection. And I think it literally, you can find people like that, but you don't have to treat everybody like, oh, I have to have this connection with them because they work together. We're in a group and we're trying to, you know, meet these goals of work, but oh, maybe they're good. Like, I don't know.
Because sometimes the only thing y'all do have in common is the fact that y'all work at the same place.
Yeah. Like, and you don't have to be friends with everybody. I think it could be a mutual respect and acquaintance and like, okay, we're keeping this as job and we could work together and, you know, get the things done that needs to be done, but we don't have to, oh, I'm not about to call you up, hey girl, I'm going through this, or hey, what happened, have you ever went through this before? Like, what? That's kind of crazy to me. Like, just throwing your personal situations on somebody who like supposedly is your friend because they're at work and you're in the same group. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think that that's kind of crazy. So I don't think you should always force and focus on building these relationships and holding on to something that's probably wasn't for you in the first place. Y'all just in this group because y'all was put in this group by management.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and value your time, value your space, value your relationships. I heard a quote. I'm like full of quotes today.
Period.
But I never trade loneliness for bad company. Like, because you can literally just do your own thing, and that comes from like developing self-love, developing your own routine, developing the person who you are. You don't have to make up your identity by the friendships and relationships you have in your life.
I totally agree.
I feel like the more you go into yourself, the more you will see the people naturally who are meant to be will gravitate towards you or be repelled. And when you feel that repellent, when you feel that repellent, let that shit go. Do not try to hold on, because we would break our backs trying to hold on to all the things that come our way. And like, it's such a freer state when you're just naturally living and you're not holding on to things that don't serve you, and you just doing you. Like,
I totally agree. And I've had times where like people would be like make a little joke like my family or something, like, oh, because they were like mention you like, oh, that's your only friend, and I'm like, dang, should I have more friends? Should I have like, and it's like that. I feel like friendship takes so much to like to build and really connect with somebody. So it's like when you're just throwing out like, okay, friendship when it's not meant. I don't think that because that's the thing when you mentioned the lonely quote, like, oh, you know, it's better to like than bad company. I feel like I'm like the type of person who likes like a small group, a connection of quality people, and I don't have to
quality over quantity.
Yeah, I don't have to like reach out and like, oh, I have to have these friends to go out with. I have to have so many like people around, and I have like friend groups and acquaintance where it's like, okay, I'll hang out, but I don't have to be like, oh, texting somebody every day and like, oh, what's going on in your life, like, or they mad at me because I didn't call them today. Like,
that'd be crazy.
That is nuts to me.
It's like codependency.
Yeah, like, why do I have to communicate every single day? And like, I just feel like when it's quality, you can spend time apart, and then it's like when it's connected, it's always good. But when it's like, oh, why didn't you call me today? Why didn't you answer your phone? I was like, it's like, what?
Did you buy her this ring?
Literally,
like,
why do I have to manage you all the time or manage somebody
your
like
baggage?
Yeah, and I think that's where people get friendship and like codependency or like attachment, like bad attachment, because it's like, why are you dependent on this person to answer all your questions or be there 24/7 for whenever you need them, and it's just about what you need and not like, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. So I think quality over quantity any day for me. I kind of get in a run where it's like, dang, maybe I should, but it's like, for what I'm happy, it's not like I'm like, oh, I need, you know, like miserable, but it's like people put that on like, oh, why don't you have like more people around? I don't know. And it's usually jokes on my family, but then I think about it like, is that like a normal thing? Like, why is it?
But I feel like you do have other people, you know, you just don't hang out with them on a daily.
Yeah,
that's the thing. You have acquaintances compared to friends, and it's like, I think that as you open up and do more things, I feel like even when you were doing your juicing thing, when you are moving in a direction that is natural to you, I feel like people will be gravitate towards that.
Yeah, I totally
and you will
agree.
find meaningful connections. Because if you go out looking for things, like looking for friends, like, oh, like I was telling my sister last night, I wanted to go out. I was like, damn, I wish I had a group of party friends.
Yeah.
But it's just like, if I'm going out looking for that, that's all they're going to be. It's going to be unnatural. And then when we're outside of like partying, like, will we be able to relate? So it's just like, you naturally want to build relationships, because I feel like that's how you end up 20 years later having dinner with your kids and like, you know, like I would rather have that kind of relationship or friendship with people rather than having an influx of people who I have to like, now I got to juggle like calling 20 people in a week because like I need to be the friend of the year. But it's like, no,
that's a lot. It's a lot on somebody's like mental and everything. Because I can say like, oh yeah, I want to like a group for this, a group for that. But it's like, like what if it's like, oh, they're calling you, oh, this is popping up, and you don't even want to do that at that moment. But it's like, oh, these are my, I have to like show up. And then it's like, oh, you're whack, you're not coming out. Like, it's like, I don't know. Weird. It's a lot of like energy, I guess you could say. So
and expectations,
energy and expectations that certain groups would have. So that's what I think, that's the thing, because I don't want anybody to expect too much from me. In a way, like,
but it's good. I feel like that's like, you can expect me to show up when you need me. But I feel like people these days, I don't know if it's because they only have minimum friends or because they don't have social skills to connect to other people in different ways. Like, we put so much on friendships and even on relationships. Like, and I've been guilty of that too. Like, when I would be in a relationship, I'd be like, dang, now you're my bestie. You're my shopping partner. Like, you're this, you're that. And it's like, too much. It could be suffocating for people. And I know I feel suffocated by certain people. I'm like, why do they need to call me every day? Like, I don't, like, what changed from yesterday to today? Like, let me live. And like, that kind of clinginess could like turn people off. Or it just creates like an unhealthy attachment. And I feel like the Buddhists do, like, the less attachments you have in life, oftentimes you're more happier. Like, I really started to get that.
I think so too, because literally I feel like when you have the, like I said, the quality, it's like, okay, you know that these people are in your life for reasons, and you know the reasoning why. It's not like, and you know the person, so it's like, it's not where you have to pretend and put on this facade of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna help, or like be around, and I don't know, it's a lot. I feel like friendships take a lot of building before it becomes like
genuine
quality. So it's like you have to go through the process, and I feel like for me, I don't really care to go through that process right now, I guess. So unless it comes completely naturally and it's like, oh, okay, I see you every day or whatever, and then it's completely natural. It has to be absolutely natural,
right,
for me to be
GMO.
For it to be an effective way for me. But I feel like we touched on a lot of good topics for that, for our how to get unstuck in work and people relationships. Overall, just let go of things that's not serving you. I think that's the main little,
and listen to your gut. Your gut will tell you when things are uncomfortable, when you have to side eye somebody too many times, or when you feel drained after leaving their presence. Just know maybe you have to take a step back and like just value your time, because our time is not infinite. It's very limited.
It is.
And remember,
and make the most of it. Like, make the happiest moments you can, instead of like, why would anybody want to be miserable? Like, that's,
some people enjoy it.
Some people really
they
do.
Feed off of it.
Like,
wake up and feed off of chaos. And remember, you'd rather never trade loneliness for bad company.
Yes, I love that quote, girl. I might probably write that somewhere in my notes. But I feel like that touches on our topics. But we do have a music corner. You want to start with the what's been popping off in the music business?
I feel like this week, actually, you should start off. Okay, because I'm like thinking in the back of my head.
So I listened to that Kanye album because I was listening to it with you, but then I went to go work out, and I was like, let me listen to it, see how it makes me feel working out. So I got through my workout. It was really good, and I like the music and I like the songs. I didn't listen to the whole album, so I didn't see the rest of it, but I listened to most of it, and I liked it, and I feel like it was like
a vibe. It pushed you,
pushing me, and
it's a good workout
up and good energy. Also, SZA just dropped a new song. Was it yesterday? Was it yesterday or the day before?
Like 2 days ago, I think.
Yeah, because I seen it
Thursday night.
Oh, okay.
Because Friday, it probably comes out Friday, but midnight in the music industry is 9 o'clock for us.
So LA. Yeah, I seen it yesterday on my list. I'm like, oh, SZA, a new SZA. So I listened to it. I really liked it. It's a vibe. It's a little. It reminds me of like a little nighttime song, a nighttime bed. So not really bed, but I guess it's like a little dream. I guess dreamy. It's like a dreamy sound, a little peaceful. You know, I don't know. SZA always do it. I feel like most of her songs are top tier, but I like the song a lot.
She don't miss.
She
really don't miss. I feel like SZA has had a run like. That's like I haven't seen an R&B girly do it like SZA in a long time. If you really sit back and think about it,
albums like completely all
just
through.
Magnificent.
I was listening to her. Oh, that's another thing. I revisited Control yesterday after I listened to that song, and I'm like, it was it. It's so crazy, like how good that album was, and just like I don't know, it was a really good album, and I'm just like. She really did her thing, and I it's good that I could even listen to something. Well, I usually do be sticking to music and listening to old stuff, but I feel like that whole thing is just you can listen to it straight through, and it's still
hit every time.
Yeah,
hit different.
Yeah, so that's what I've been listening to. Just Kanye and SZA. I haven't really. Oh, I did listen to. It's just like random, but an NLE Choppa song.
No, not like that, but I just haven't listened to his music in a long time.
Yeah, I seen on TikTok like a while back because me and my sister was talking about Gautier, that song, somebody I used to know, and she was like, somebody just did a remix to that, and I was like, oh, because I seen NLE Choppa like weeks ago posted on TikTok that he redid the song. I was like, oh, NLE Choppa. She was like, no, it's somebody else. Like, that's not who did it. So we went through this whole thing, like, trying to figure out if he had the song, the remix. But the remix was really good that he did.
I'm going to listen to it.
I forget the name of it. I'm going to look it up and see. But I think that one, I was like, okay. I don't usually listen to too much, like, rap or, not like that, but too much of, like, the new age rap.
Yeah.
I kind of, like, keep it to a minimum because they be talking crazy. But I think that the beat was really, like, he really took the beat and made it, I guess, his own, but it sounds good.
I'm going to listen to it.
Yeah.
Girl, he got me wanting to be a sound
So that one was really good. And then she showed me the other one. It's something called Anxiety by, I forget what his name is, featuring, I know the girl. It's featuring an R&B girl. But I'm gonna look it up and see. But it's two songs that did a remix to Gautier, somebody I used to know. I like NLE Choppa's a little bit better, but the other one's more like R&B. Slower R&B. This one's like
I actually remember. Okay.
Yeah, mine's done.
Sorry.
No worries.
Yes. So I found a new country artist.
Wait, it might be the same girl that because I just added a country artist.
Is it
what's
Tanner Adele?
Wait, Tanner? No, it's another girl, but I heard of her too.
Yes, I like her. It just feels like, I don't know, like it kind of gives me like when I first fell in love with Taylor Swift, like a Swiftie vibe, like back when she was doing country more than pop.
Yeah,
but it's like a black girl doing it, so she's like, I'm at the stove with my toner, like I don't know, it just sounds so good. I really like I'm gonna play some for you.
Okay,
so her name is
the other girl too.
Tanner Adele. I feel like she's gonna be really, really big.
Yeah,
I feel like I love like the resurgence of black people doing country. Because you know, we come from the country. We are the originators of so many different music genres that have been almost co-opted. And black people, I know many black people who be like, I don't listen to country. I'm a person who be like, I don't listen to country like that.
But when I find a good country song, I'm gonna listen.
And they be telling stories. Yeah. Like, I really like it. And I feel like she mixes like almost like country with pop and a little bit of like, I feel like she a country city girl.
Oh, okay.
Like, I like it. Like,
I
really like it. And besides that, I feel like I've been waking up to jazz in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
I've been really
jazz
like,
is a vibe.
Yeah, when it was raining, I feel like I started to listen to jazz, and then I just like at work in the morning, it just sets the mood. No lyrics, just like, or the lyrics be so deep and lovely, and I just be like, this is some good music. So I feel like I've been like kind of like branching out because I really don't usually listen to jazz. I don't listen to country, but I feel like I've been finding new artists. Y'all need to check out Tanner Adele.
Yes, and also like, this other girl, her name is Raina Roberts. Her girl, I'm gonna show you after this. She's a country singer too, And I'm just like, when I heard, because I seen it when I was on social media, like last week or whatever, I was on Instagram and I was like, wait, this is hidden. What's this and who is this? So I was like, I went to like search her up, and her voice
is really good.
Yes. And I'm like, wow, like this is something that I could listen to, because usually like certain country songs I have like little picks, but I would never be like, I'm gonna listen to country.
I feel like we all love that song.
And I used to like dark country songs. It's like a
like what's his name? Why am I blinking? Walk the Line. They made a movie about him. Y'all gonna eat me up in the comments. Walk the Line. Johnny Cash.
Oh,
like that.
A little bit more melancholy type, like goth. I guess it's like a
gothic country.
Girl, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm a like find the artists that I used to listen to like when I was like in high school. I used to have, girl, I went through so many phases in high school, but it was like a dark country, like a gothic country type. Okay. But I'm gonna find it because Taylor Swift did it was remix? This group. She did a feature on one of these songs, and girl, it was like, yeah. That was when I was like a Swiftie back then. Yeah. When she was for real dabbling in that real country. But yeah, Raina Roberts and Tanner Adele.
I feel like the black girlies, they are emerging. And the guys too. I've seen some black country artists that are bubbling up, younger people, and I just love it. I love to see us reclaiming and just participating in all types of music, because I feel like a lot of times black people are put in boxes. Either you do R&B or rap. Like, how's FKA Twigs an R&B artist? Like, they be trying to put them in boxes just because their skin color. Yeah. And I just feel like I love the versatility. I love the creativity. And I feel like when black people do stuff like this, we need to really support them.
I totally agree. Because, girl, they was coming for this girl in the comments, because I seen it on Instagram. And somebody was like, you're turning it into the hood. Girl, if you don't take your ass
back to the trailer park,
exactly, you're in the hood.
Yeah, y'all in worse than the hood. Yeah, like, y'all need to come to the hood and see how we living. Not exactly. We, no, but no, for real, like, I'd rather be in the hood than in the trailer park.
Exactly. So I feel like people really just be saying anything, and she was like, how is like, and she had to come, like, it was other people supporting too, like coming for them, like, how is this hood rap music? Like, they're dumb.
You're ignorant.
Ignorant. So it's just so funny though, and I feel like it just shakes the table, and I like it because it's like these people look so stupid when they comment stuff like this, and it just showing their true colors. Like, y'all are idiots.
Do your fucking research.
Like, exactly. Like, y'all don't own nothing.
Or y'all don't create much.
Y'all didn't create nothing. Well, much. Yeah. But I'm disease. No, nah, but yeah, I feel like that's the music corner we giving us a little country bops to listen to. So listen to these artists, y'all. Check them out. Even if y'all don't like country, y'all might even just like the song. So give some variety.
Yes. And I'm still bumping Miss Northwest Daddy.
Oh yeah. So I guess we can move on to the black business of the week. Let's see. Let me think in my black business. I have been supporting. I have this conditioner, and Kenya Moore. Yeah, she's the
Is it good?
It's good.
Cause Kenya got the hang time. Her hair is really nice.
And I did the I have the app where it shows cause usually a lot of these black hair care is usually not owned by black people. Y'all got to do your research on what's owned by black people, because they be putting all types of stuff in these products and then selling it to you because they making it it looks African because it has African patterns, but literally,
or they say black founded or women founded. That means it was originally founded, but somebody then came and bought it and changed the whole formula.
Exactly. So I feel like we have to kind of be mindful of what's really black owned and what's really good for our hair. Because the app that I have, it showed that it was it gives a percentage of how, I guess, out of 100 how good it is for you. So this one was in the 70s, and usually hair products would be 30s and bad, but I'm okay, since I scanned it, I was like, let me start using it more. And girl, it's a really nice texture. It smells so good.
I might check it out because I feel like so many celebrities
are coming out with.
Yeah,
but I like that one. I did want to try Taraji's. I heard hers is really good, but since I bought this one, I'll just shout out a little. Yeah, even though she already up there, but we gonna find some smaller ones. But I think that's still a good product. I just wanted to name something that I use. So
I feel it. And maybe we'll have some more hair care for you coming up because I definitely want to try Taraji's. Yeah. My friend Deja says she loves Tracy Ellis Ross.
Oh, yeah.
One. And
I mean, kind of like, just because her hair texture ain't like
yeah,
mine.
That's same.
So I'm like, maybe it's not, but I'll give it a try.
And your girl Beyonce got one that just came
out. Oh, yeah.
But
are you going to try?
I don't know, man, because I like, I love me some Beyonce, but even looking at the people who went to her like launch thing, first of all, Deja pointed out like she was like, why is all these people just light skinned / looking like they're mixed race? Or I seen some darker skinned people, but I just feel like no shade because I'm a black woman. Yeah. But how do y'all? It was like everybody at the hair care launch, but everybody got wigs on. Oh, and like extensions. Really so I'm just like, how y'all sitting here washing wigs? Yeah. Or like, and I get like black women, we wash our hair underneath our wigs, but like, I just gotta, I don't know.
It should really be about natural hair. Yeah. That's what it's marketed to.
Yeah, that's what I feel. And I just feel like, Beyonce, when it comes to things outside of music, I don't know.
I feel like it's never strong.
Yeah, and it never seems very genuine.
Yeah, it's never like substance behind it. It's like, okay, and then it kind of doesn't like really
resonate with the crowd, so we all just eventually fall back, and then it gets canceled.
Yeah. I don't think she's. Yeah, I think music is her strongest suit. Maybe it is gonna jump off and be like one of the top.
We just gonna have to try it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna look it up and like look deeper into it. I haven't really did like research. I heard it, but then I was just like, I don't really.
Yeah. Because I'm like, is Beyonce using this? Is her kids using this?
Yeah.
And even if you really found it a great formula, like, I don't know. It's something that just seems
doing it just for to have these extra.
And I understand as a celebrity, I feel like you should have multiple lanes, but it seems whether they're believable or not is the key.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe we'll double, maybe not.
We might have a black business hair care series.
Yeah, maybe because I do need to find like, because I like this one by Kmart, but I feel like it's not the strongest one that I need to find like my personal best for my hair. Just to see, like what really works for me and what doesn't. But so far that's good. Yes. And I like it, and it smells super good, and like I feel like it just has a lasting scent.
I like hair. That.
So yeah, that's my black business of the week. Do you have a political segment?
I have a political segment for y'all. It's gonna be nice and sweet, short and sweet. It's aimed to my black listeners, and even if you're not black, people of color, people who need to really understand that these politicians, they're gearing up to have such a messy fight. Yes. The old men are going to be fighting this fall, and I hope nobody takes a fall. But the fact that, what's his name? The fact that Joe Biden this week when he came to LA, he made it a point to stop at CJ's Cafe, and specifically the one on Crenshaw near the Jungles. I just feel like black people need to be aware more than ever that people are going to be pandering to us. They're going to be playing in our faces and coming to like local little restaurants, putting out sneaker lines to try to relate to the black community. Trump. I feel like we need to look past the pandering and really look at the policies and see how these people have historically felt about black people, and not only felt about black people. Both of these people have been presidents. Let's see who actually made life better for black people. And I'm not talking about them COVID checks. That everybody got, that Donald Trump tried to fight to not give, and then when he finally got approved, he was like, okay, it's going to get approved, but I need to sign my name. So people subconsciously think that he did something for us. We need to read between the lines, understand propaganda, understand rhetoric, and understand that every 4 years somehow a president finds himself in a hood trying to win the black vote. And we need to just really like kind of like that's an
eye opener. Like, really see what that is doing. Like, what is he doing right now? What is he really here to support? Is he really here for what? Like,
yeah. And I just feel like historically, like, they've done this over and over again. Like, I was talking to somebody yesterday about Bill Clinton, going to Arsenio Hall, playing a saxophone, and going to the hood talking about weed, and talk about he smoked weed, but he never inhaled.
girl,
I feel like we need to do better and be smarter and be more analytical when it comes to people playing in our face. His wife tried to say she got hot sauce in her bag. At this point, it's becoming a joke. Please don't listen to whatever celebrity they prop up to try to get your vote.
Yeah.
Please look past the entertainment aspect of it all, the pandering aspect of it all. And I urge anybody who's listening, watching, participating to really do research and do research on people who do research on how these people will really affect you, your family, your city, and the people who look like you. So that's all. I'm not trying to give y'all an opinion.
Yeah.
Just do your research and do not fall for the pandering. Cause
open your eyes.
Yeah. The same person they were calling the first black president, Bill Clinton, is the same person who passed a 3-strike rule and is the reason why there's mass incarceration.
So
yeah.
Do y'all research, y'all. But yeah, I feel like that wraps up our episode.
Yes.
We hope you guys liked it. Make sure y'all are liking, commenting, subscribing,
share with a friend.
Yes, and listening on all
platforms,
YouTube, all the Apple,
Spotify,
everything. We are on there. So if you want to hear the episode, watch it and then listen to it. Y'all can do whatever y'all want. But yeah, make sure you guys are giving a like and subscribing. But this has been
New Girls on the Block. Bye.